Database management systems are an interesting thing. They're an interesting thing not only because they contain databases and tables within themselves, but because they contain a lot of information that is not shown publicly. Some of that information pertains to getting information about databases and tables. So for example, let's say we have an employee table right here. We have an ID, employee, department, and salary. We can select data from that table and work with that data. So for example, if we say where employee equals to Todd, we can get rows of interest about Todd, right? But if we want to get information about the database, about the table itself, and not about the data inside of those tables, we need to make use of different kinds of queries. To find out what databases we have overall, we may employ show databases. Show databases, right? We can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 databases. Right, so these are all databases in our database management system. This query can be run no matter we are in a database or we didn't select a database yet. It doesn't really matter. Another query we have is select database. If we run this query, we can find out what database we are in. This usually applies when we're working within the CLI. When we are working with SQL clients like the visualizer, we can obviously see the database here, so that goes out the window. If we switch to a database, if we switch to a demo database and then say show tables, our database should show all of the tables within the database. So we can see that we have two tables. We have employees and we have managers. If we want to find out the structure of those tables, we need to use describe. So we use describe in a very similar fashion. We use describe employees, describe, and then table. We can see that we have 4 columns, their types, whether they're null or not, and what keys do they pertain to. Keys are indexes, default values, and also extra values, if they increment automatically or not. The same can be done with another table. We have 3 columns, 3 types, and 3 extra values. We can also find out how a specific table was created, and for that we use show create table. And after we run this, we will get a statement that lets us recreate the table. So if we just copy this, we will see that we have again 4 columns, primary key, and 1 index on the employee column. We run InnoDB, that's the storage engine, and our charset is less than 1 and collation is less than 1 Swedish CI. If we want to see specific indexes from the table, we may use show index from and describe the table. So show index from employees, show index from employees will describe all indexes within that table. So we can see that we have 2 indexes, 2 columns that are indexed on 1 table. So here's the table, here's our key name, a primary key, a column that the key is in, ID, cardinality, the amount of unique values within the index, index type, by default it's B-tree, and whether the index is ignored or not. The same goes with another index. So index title, column name, collation, cardinality, the amount of unique values, whether it's packed, whether it's null, index type, whether it's commented, and whether it's ignored. So this is how you get information about databases and tables within MySQL. I hope you found this tutorial to be useful and entertaining. Subscribe for more, and until next time.